Okay, now let's look at question 17, CAT 2021 slot 3 question. The total of male and female populations in a city increased by 25%. Okay, long questions, we got to take notes. The total of some population went up by 25% from 1970 to 1980. Okay, 25% up. During the same period, that is 70 to 80, the male population increased by 40%. While the female population increased by 20%. They've given a split over here. So the moment I have a split of the two different categories, right, male and female, and the combined growth is also given, with that I should be able to find the ratio of the number of or the population of males to females, right? So it's M and F, male and female over here, and combined over here is 25%. That's it. Allegations, simple allegations we can use. The difference is 5%. The difference over here is 15%. In case you're not familiar with this, refer to the allegations lesson. 1:3 over here is the ratio of the number of males to number of females. And when is that? That's in 1970, right at the start. The increase is what we are looking at. So after the increase, it's going to change, of course. At the start, it is 1:3. We need to remember that. What else is given? From 1980 to 1990, the female population increased by 25%. Okay, further growth they've given. 1990, the female population is twice the male population. Okay, there's some comparison or link given there. Percentage increase, it's all in percentage terms, no absolute value once again. That's it, as simple as that. So we can start with male, female, and total. We can just write it down. We can start with 1970. 1:3. Let it be 100 and 300, which means the total population is 400. What do we know about 1980? This 400 is grown by 1/4, right? 25%, 1/4 has become 500. Now the 300 over here is grown by 20%. That comes to 360, right? 60 is 1/5. 40% is 2/5, or 40% of 100, you know, is 40. You add, you get 140. And just check the total if it's working out. Yes, it is 500. It's fine so far. 1990, what has happened right now? 1990, the female population increased by 25% or 1/4, right? So do not be working with percentages and writing notes and all. 25% you should know is 1/4 of the stage. 1/4 of 360 you should know is 90. It went up by 90 and became 450. In 1990, if the female population is twice the male population, 1990, female population of 450 is twice that of male. So male would be half of that, 225. Then the percentage increase in the total of male and female population, total over here is 675. They want the percentage increase with the previous year or what? From 1970 to 1990, all the way. From 400 to 675. That's a 275 increase divided by 400 into 100%. Can use the calculator, or you'll know 280 by 4 is 70. 5 by 4 is 1.25. Remove that and you get 68.75%. Option 3 is the correct answer here. On to question 18. In the tournament, a team has played 40 matches so far and won 30% of them. If they win 60% of the remaining matches, okay, some absolute number given over here in some percentage terms, you have matches and wins, and you're going to have, of course, losses, right? So matches, wins, and losses. You can write that down. Initially, how many matches have been played? 40 matches have been played so far, and has won 30% of them. 30% of 40, right? 3 into 4, 12. Yeah, should be quick at these. Do not be wasting time with these. 30% of 40, 2 zeros cancel and all of that. Should have a sense of this, right? 30% of 40 is simply 3 into 4, 12, because the zeros get knocked off. The remaining 28 are losses. Fine. Now, if they win 60% of the remaining matches, how many remaining matches are there going to be there? We don't know. We don't know. Let's say that's R. If 60% of the remaining matches are going to be wins, okay, then out of a 40 plus R, you're going to be winning 60% of it. So the wins so far are 12, and you're winning 60% of the remaining 0.6 R. That's going to give us an overall win percentage of 50%. 50%, you can write it as 50 by 100, or at this stage, you can simply write it as 1 by 2, right? Half. That's going to be the ratio between these two, right? This is going to be 50% of this, half of this. Cross multiply and get done. 24 plus 1.2 R equals 40 plus R. 16 equals 0.2 R. And 0.2 is nothing but 1 by 5. So R equals 16 into 5, which comes to 80. All right, so in place of R, I know the remaining matches now, that's 80. Suppose they win 90% of the remaining matches. Okay, the remaining, they're saying something else is happening right now. What is it? 90% of 80 has been won. 9 into 8 is 72, right? Those are the wins. Then the total number of matches won by the team in the tournament will be, total wins is nothing but 12 plus 72, which comes to 84. Option 3 is the answer here. On to question 19. Again, a long question, looks like, yeah. So in an election, there were 4 candidates and 80% of the registered voters cast their votes. Okay, they've cast their votes. One of the candidates received 30% of the cast votes, right? Votes which have been cast. So we have a total of 100, of course, right? Of which only 80% of them have, 80 of them have turned up for voting. Let's take it as that. Now, one of the candidates has received 30% of the cast votes. These are the casted votes, right? These are the registered voters, right? Of this 80, one of them is getting 30% of this, right? 30% of the cast votes. 30% of 80, zeros are cancelled. 3 into 8, 24. 24 is coming to that one person. Now, while the other 3 candidates receive the remaining cast votes, the remaining are going to be, 24 is done with 1. So the remaining is going to be 56. That 56 over here is getting split amongst 3 people in the ratio of 1:2:3. Okay, 3 being the highest, 3 is going to be 3 out of 6. Half of this comes to 28 odd votes, right? Half of them, one person is getting half the votes, 1:2:3, right? Get a sense of this. 1 6, 2 6, and 3 6. 3 6 is half. Now, next is middle is going to be 2 6 or 1/3. 1/3 of 56 is what? 1/3 of 54 is 18. So it's 18, 2 by 3. Does this really matter? Let's continue. If the winner of the election received 2512 votes more than the candidate who won the second highest. Now, the winner is going to be this person. The second highest is going to be that the person with 24 votes, 24% of the total votes, right? This 24, 56, all of these are as a percentage of the total votes. If the total was 100, 80 cast their votes, 24 for one person. Of the remaining 56, you split in the ratio of 1:2:3. What's given is the difference between the winner and the second highest. Winner is definitely 28. The second highest is definitely 24% of the total votes, right? Total votes. So the difference over here, 4% of the total votes is what? Or total registered voters is 2512 votes. The winner received 2512 more. If 4% is 2512. 4% of what? 4% of total. Then 1% of total is going to be how much? Divide this by 4 and we're going to get 628, right? Then what is asked over here is the number of registered voters. Registered voters is 100. So 100% is what? All right, 62800. Option 2 is the answer here. Once again, what's been done over here? You took 100 as the total, right? I'm just working with it in percentage terms itself. I just didn't put the percentage symbol, right? Or you can call it the index method as well. Just take some number and work with it and see as to what we're getting. And then take the difference. If this was 100, then 4 is the difference between these two. In actual terms, the difference is given to us as 2512. If 4% is 2512, 1% is divided by 4, 100% is multiply with 100 and you get the answer. Do not need to use variables and go in for a long drawn out method. On to question 20. One of those earlier years, the owner of an art shop conducts his business in the following manner. Every once in a while he raises his price by X%. Then a while later he reduces all the new prices by X%. If I'm increasing and decreasing by X%, we've seen this, especially in the profit and loss lesson, right? It's a net decrease by X square by 100%. That means the price is definitely dropping. After one such up-down cycle, the price of the painting decreased by 441 rupees. Okay. After a second such, the percentage symbol over here. After a second up-down cycle, the painting was sold for 1944.81. What was the original price? Okay, this we need to keep in mind. Okay, let us say the original price over here, we don't know. That's what we need to find out. Which of these is going to be that? After one such first up-down, right? After the first up-down cycle, it's going to drop by X square by 100% of the original value. Fine. And then we get something. And then we again subtract the second up-down, right? And then we are getting the final value. And that final value is given to us as 1944.81. What is also given to us is 441 is what is the reduction after the first up-down, right? We don't know about the second up-down. And this 441 should be some x square by 100% of the original. And this value I'm going to put over here, that's also going to be the same x square by 100%. These two have to be in the same percentage terms, right? Same percentage terms, because you're increasing and reducing by the same percentage. So reduction of x square by 100% in both cases, that's the clue. Now, solving these without options is going to be difficult, and we have the options given over here, right? So where can we start? Let's take the smallest value, 2000. What happens over here? If I put 2000, option 4, 2000 minus 441 comes to 1559. After that, how can there be an increase? Right? When you have decreased, supposed to be a decrease further. 1559 minus something is going to be below 1559, can't jump to 1944.81. For those reasons, 2000 can't be the answer. 2256.25 also can't be the answer. Check this out. 2256.25, you subtract a 441, you're going to get 1800 and something. Now, 1800 and something, you can't subtract something and bring it to 1944, right? It can't go up after a subtraction. So, as the price has to drop, those two smaller values can't be the answer. It has to be either 2500 or 2576.25. Starting with 2500, if we subtract here 441, and we're getting something like 2059. And how much do you subtract right now? It comes to a 59 off. It comes to 115 or 14 point something, let's say. Yeah, 14.19. And we get this, right? 1944.81. Now, 441 is what percentage of 2500? 400 is 16%. This looks like close to 17, between 17 and 18%. Let's take it as 18%. What about 114.19? Is that 18% of this? 10% is 205.9. 114.9 is less than 10%, right? Looks like around 5 to 6%. So in one case, we have 18% of whatever it used to be. In the other case, it's only 6%, 5 to 6% of what it used to be. It can't be the answer. You should be falling by the same rate, same percentage. You can eliminate this and mark 1 as the answer and keep going. What I'm explaining over here seems to be long, but if this flow is right, you're clear with this. By looking at it, you'll know that 2000 minus 441 is a value more than this. 2256 minus 441 is a value more than 1944. Knock them off. Write down 2500. Didn't work out. Go in for 2756, or you can confidently mark that as the answer. 2756.25 minus 441 over here. And we're going to get something like, what's that going to be? We're going to get 2315.25. The decimals don't really matter much. So let's take it as 1945 and 2315. If you're going to subtract that, it's going to come to 70 here, and then 370, right? 441 is a percentage of 2756.25, and 370 is a percentage of this. Looks more or less similar, right? Looks more or less similar. The exact percentages don't matter. You can find that in the calculator if you wish. And you can mark 1 as the answer therefore and keep moving. Okay, on to question 21. Mayank, Mirza, Little and Jagbir bought a bike for $60. Mayank contributed half of the total amount contributed by others. Okay, now this is another standard type which comes up once in a while. You've got to be ready for this. And if you understand this approach, you should be able to quickly answer. The total is $60, right? Total is $60 over here. Now, Mayank contributed half of the total amount contributed by the others. That means Mayank over here compared to others. If others contributed 2x, then Mayank contributed x, right? Half of that. So what's the total going to be? 3x. Now, get a sense of this. Now, if you're going to contribute half of the rest, then you're contributing 1/3 of the total. If you are half of rest, then what is the total going to be? Look at it this way. If you're half of the remaining people, this is you. This is your contribution. This is the remaining. What is the total going to be? Total, grand total, sum of everybody, you as well as the remaining, that's going to be 3 parts. If others are contributing 2 parts and you are contributing 1 part, the total is 3 parts. So the 3 parts, the total is what is given to us, which is 60. 1/3 of that is Mayank, therefore, and that comes to 20, right? Mayank contributed half of the total amount contributed by others. If others contributed 2 parts, you contributed, as Mayank contributed 1 part, the total contribution is 3 parts, which is what is given to us, $60 in grand total over here, right? So using the same logic, what's it going to be for the next person? Mirza contributed 1/3 of the total amount, contributed by others, right? So once again, let me just reword this, others and Mirza, this is just for your understanding. And once you have an idea of this, you should be quick, right? Mirza contributed 1/3 of others. So others are 3 parts. Mirza contributed 1 part, so grand total is 4. So therefore, if it's 1/3 of total amount contributed others, then you're 1/4 of total, which comes to 15. If total is 4 parts is 60, 1 part is 15, right? That's it. Now, what about little? I'm not going to do this. Think about it. 1/4 of that contributed by others, then you're 1/5 of total, 1/5 of 60 comes to 12. And these 3 are going to add up to 47. So remaining $13 is what has been contributed by Jagbir, right? Option 2 becomes the answer here. On to question 22. At the end of year 1998, Shepherd bought 9 dozen goats. Henceforth, every year he added P% of the goats at the beginning of the year. Okay, it went up by P% and sold Q% of the goats, right? Went down by Q%, sold Q% at the end of the year, where P is greater than 0 and Q is greater than 0. Now, Shepherd had 9 dozen goats at the end of year 2022. Okay, both P and Q are greater than 0. Shepherd had 9 dozen goats at the end of year 2022, and which is the same as 9 dozen goats at the beginning of 1998. That means after your increase and decrease, your number doesn't change, it remains the same, right? Every year it's going up by P%, then coming down by Q%. 9 dozen remains 9 dozen. There's no change to that. That's why it's the same from 1998 to 2002. After all the up downs, your number remains the same. So, which of the following is true? If P were equal to Q, P is what is going up, right? If P was equal to Q, what is the net impact? Net impact after an up and down, there is a down by Q square by 100%, right? Or P square by 100%, because both are equal. If you're increasing by X%, decreasing by X%, net impact is decreased by X square by 100%. Now, if both are equal, it's not good. You want it to be a little higher, right? So that there is no change, right? There is no impact. Now, if P were equal to Q, there is a decrease by Q square by 100%, but then there is no decrease. That's what is mentioned. So therefore, the increase should be a little more to compensate for this. The increase by P should be a little more, right? So little more. So therefore, P should be greater than Q. Just mark this and keep going. Don't look to prove this with the long drawn out method, right? Which is 9 goats into 1 plus P by 100 into 1 plus 1 minus Q by 100, right? And this is coming to again 9, right? It's cancelled. And then try to expand and all of that and go down that path. It's just going to be a little painful. If you understand this conceptually, you should be able to mark this quickly and go. Once again, if P and Q are equal, there is a net decrease. But I don't want a decrease. I want it to be equal. That means the increase should have been a little more. Increase of P%, P should have been a little more than Q. The ratio of number of male and female journalists in the newspaper office is 5:4. Okay, quick look once again, 5:4, male and female journalists, 2 sections, political sports, 30% of male, 40% of female, all these are given. Straight away we form a table. That's it. What do we have here? So we have male, we have female, right? And we have political, and we have sports. Okay, so 5:4 ratio, take it as 500 and 400 over here. So total comes to 900, grand total. And if 30% of the male journalists and 40% of the female journalists are covering political news. Political news is 30% of male, which is 150, and 40% of female, which comes to 160. That's a total of 310. Okay, what percentage of journalists in the newspaper is currently involved in sports reporting? Percentage of total journalists in sports. You subtract over here, you get 590. 590 out of 900, right? 590 by 900 into 100%. The zeros are cancelled. 590 by 9, so 6 9s are 54, and then you have 50, 5, 45, and then 65, 5 by 9%. The closest over here is 65. If decreasing 70 by X% yields the same result as increasing 60 by X%, then X% of 50 is what? Now 70 over here you've decreased it by x percent. Okay, 70 into 1 minus x by 100. We're getting the same answer after we increase 60 by x percent, 1 plus x by 100. Okay. Then x percent of 50 is what? I need to find x by 100 into 50. Okay, so I think I can cancel the 0 over here. 7 minus 7x by 100 equals 6 plus 6x by 100. Bring the 7x there and you're going to get 13x by 100 equals 1. X equals 100 by 13. Okay, we can plug that in over here, and we need to find x percent of 50, right? That's what we need to find, and x is 100 by 13. 100 by 13 into this 100 into 50. The 100 is cancelled. The answer is 50 by 13, right? 50 by 13. 50 by 13 is nothing but 3 13s are 39, and then we have a 11 is the remainder by 13. 3 11 by 13 comes to 3.84, right? Option 1 is the answer here.